Hi everyone, I hope you're super well. In my previous video, I shared a few tips on how to manage anxiety, and there are so many. But I think what's important about anxiety is not the anxiety itself, but the root of it. So, really looking at why are you anxious? What is causing the anxiety? And there could be multiple reasons for that. It could be a physical chemical imbalance. It could be so obviously physiological. It could be social. It could be caused by relationships that you're in. It could be caused by mindset. It could be caused by many things. And importantly, I think, is to steer away from self-blame, but rather move more into taking responsibility. So very often I can have the conversation with myself where I'm like, oh, you're making yourself stress. You are too hard on yourself. You this, you that, but actually like that's not even helpful. And so taking a pause and going, okay, how do I help myself? How do I assist myself? And for me, one of my main causes of anxiety and feeling overwhelmed or feeling anxious because I'm overwhelmed is when I'm scatterbrained. So very often it's not easy to come out of that, but what really helps me is to try and be as organized as possible. So this includes the filing of my emails, my calendar, so that you try and eliminate as much noise as possible. So you're probably going to think I'm a crazy person, haha, excuse the pun, when you watch this video, but I wanted to share how I separate parts of my life to make things more manageable. So if I had to take everything I have to do and put it on one to-do list, it would be from here to, I don't know, the other end of the planet. Because there's always things to do, and as we kind of scratch them off, the next things, the following things, anyways, you start adding to it the moment you start subtracting from it, because it's a cycle. It's not like we're going to go to a thing, we're going to end it, because every end is the beginning of something else. So I wanted to share, I was very lucky, a friend of mine, Bella, brought me a few tools that I asked her to bring from Cape Town for me to organize my life in 2020. As much as I love digital and as useful as I find it, I use it in many different ways. I love my notes on my iPhone. I use that all the time. I use my calendar all the time. And so those are two kind of more digital work places to use. But for me, kind of the analog way is still very real in my life, and it really helps me to put pen to paper. So are you ready? It looks like a lot, but it actually makes me more organized. Okay, so how I work this is, everyone knows I'm a big Friends fan, like obsessed. I think I've watched every season a million trillion times. So this book, this diary, has my time schedule. So you can see it has from 6 o'clock all the way up to 6 o'clock. So generally my day starts at 6. A lot of mornings it starts earlier, but 6 o'clock my day planning starts, and I try to make sure that at 6 p.m. I'm done with everything. I try not to schedule anything after 6 p.m. That's my private time. That's the time with my partner. That's the time with my friends. That's the time with myself. My series, aka watching Survive at the moment. It's amazing. So this would be my one diary that I use also to write down personal things that I need to get done that day or that week. So these are the things like going to the bank, buying cat sand for Maggie, those kinds of things. So home things, maybe even things that Neil and I need to get done. We're planning a wedding now, so I'll put those kinds of things in here, even though the only top priority things that are almost like scheduled in will go in here. So that's my first book. That's like my day, week plan. And obviously with this, that's quite nice, is you've got your like month ahead. So you can have that step back perspective. Like I really like to step back and look, because often we're like, oh my word, I've got this, and this. But when you step back, you go, okay, cool. Yes, I filled in 6 days on my calendar, but what am I going to do with the other 24 days? So that's number 1. Then number 2, as you all know, I work for Jeff, live a Jeff life. So then I have my Jeff workbook, in which I put anything that is Jeff related. So to-dos, ideas, notes, preparation for courses and challenges that I'm putting together, talks that I'm doing, meetings, briefings, discussions, that all goes in here. And so when I've done my kind of Jeff work for the day, I can put this book away, and it's out of sight, out of mind. And I know that tomorrow morning I can pick it up, and everything I need to know about what I'm doing at Jeff is in here. All right, then a few of the quotes I've been posting have actually come from this book, The Wellness Planner. And this is beautiful. So there are many different planners. You can find them all over the show. You can just Google on the internet wellness planner and you'll find all types of planners. This one's really beautiful because it has your week plan, and then it's got a few cool things here. So it's got what are my priorities, what are my goals, what are my notes. At the bottom here, it's got a habits tracker. What am I grateful for? How was I feeling this week? My mindful moment this week. And so this is my me. This is my me book. So this is where I schedule all my wellness stuff for the week. And it really sounds, I know it's really like OCD, ADD, ADHD, all of that. But for me, the way my brain is wired, this really works and it really helps. Also keeping in mind though, when you are planning things, life is life. And we need to be able to move around and be very elastic when it comes to schedule things. So I swear, Neil, my fiance, is the king of messing with my schedule. I always have my day planned, and then he throws some other spanner in the works. But it's such a test because my stability doesn't come out of these. These are tools that assist me, but they are not my stability. And so if my entire day changes, you don't kind of fall off the wagon, but then you've still got everything that you'd planned, and you can go and you can reflect on it and you can move forward. All right, then, sorry, I'm losing my light here. Then my fourth chapter, or I don't know what you call it, is this book. And it's one of my favorite colors. So find things that you love. I love looking at all these books. They just make me so happy. And in this one, it's just plain lined paper. And in this book, I write down all my dreams, all my goals for my business. So I try to keep this quite close. I come up with a lot of random ideas. I also get a lot of pings, or messages, whatever you want to call it, in my dreams. So often I wake up and I'm like, oh my word, craziest dream, write it all down. I write down the to-dos, the things that need to get done. I do my budgeting. I keep track of clients. I do a lot of this digitally as well on spreadsheets, because you never know what can happen to a book. But this is my I think it's my funnest book, because in here I put everything that I'm really passionate about, and all the work I want to do and all the info I want to get out there is all in here. Then I say this is my final book, but if I show you guys here, I've still got these, which are my other workbooks. This is my journal that I use every day, this little book. I think I'm gonna have to burn it when I'm done though. But that's my journal. But then my final is just kind of a plain, just a very plain lined book. This is that I put all my wedding planning in. And I know most girls have a super fancy wedding plan or whatever, but that's what I use for that. So I just wanted to share this just to, in case you are also one of those people who you are not sure how to compartmentalize things start blurring, then you don't know how to prioritize. But when you do it this way, you can take each individual part and you can prioritize for that specific thing. And that has really, really helped me, so that when you look at your day and you're going, all right, so what are my priorities for the day? You can have a more balanced priority list, so that you're not neglecting certain areas in your life and looking at the parts that do take over and trying to step back and go, okay, how can I maybe pull back a little bit from this? How can I push forward, or, push forward the other thing, and really take it from a point of what is important to you. What do you value? I speak about values quite a lot in my work. And your values are going to change. They change when you become a mother. They change when you get married. They change when you travel, when you move. But figuring out what your values are. And when you move from your values and you've kind of got these things out in front of you and you can look at them, you can make a much more conscious decision, a much more authentic decision of how to move through your life to bring more harmony into it. I hope this was useful. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to hear that I'm not the only crazy book lady or book person, if there are any gents here who are big into using books. And that is me for now. I'm going to continue sharing just things that help me. Things that help me to manage my stress and my anxiety and the craziness that is this life. So thanks for listening, and I look forward to your comments. Please send me a DM. Always feel free to do that. And much love. Bye.